I still carry it, man. Do you understand? It's still my cross to bear.
Devastating. That was my best friend. So like that was my guy. Like, you know, I'm in high school and a kid about to fight me. I'm gonna call my dad and he's like, snatch his chain.
The life and death of Gerald Levert and his brother Sean was just another sad and tragic end, like so many others in the industry. They passed barely over a year apart, both gone way too soon, both linked to drug complications.
Weird day, honestly, because everybody knew before me.
Really?
Yeah, it was on BT, and like I woke up late, and like there was no school that day for some reason, and the phone just kept ringing, and I didn't know what was going on.
It was so sad that Sean Levert even died in police custody. Mammy! Imagine what their family must have gone through. Don't forget that this is on top of the controversies that have trailed them, like Gerald leaving the group and the legal troubles they got into. Honestly, what is it about the industry that drives people to such a tragic end? Was there more to this than we know now? Let's talk about it. Gerald Levert had a great career in music. He was known for his deep and soulful voice.
And I'd give anything and everything.
He sang about love, heartbreak, and life. His songs touched many people, but behind the success, he was a man dealing with real problems. His pain and struggles led him to rely on medications. Unfortunately, taking too many at once led to his untimely death.
You turn on the TV and it says on BET, RIP to Gerald Levert, and then you turn on the radio and it's like RIP. And I'm just like, wait, what?
Gerald Levert passed away in 2006. He was only 40 years old.
Devastating. That was my best friend. So like that was my guy. Like, you know, I'm in high school and a kid about to fight me. I'm gonna call my dad and he's like, snatch his chain.
At first, people thought he had a heart attack. Many were shocked because he was still young. But later, doctors did an autopsy to find out the real cause. The truth was different. Gerald did not die from a heart attack. He died because he took too many medications at the same time. It was an accident, not something he planned. Gerald had been in pain for a long time. He had a shoulder injury that made his life difficult. In 2005, he had surgery to fix his Achilles tendon. This added more pain to his body. To deal with all this pain, he took prescription drugs. His doctors gave him strong painkillers like Vicodin, Percocet, and Darvocet. These medicines helped with his pain, but could also be dangerous if not used correctly. Aside from pain, Gerald also suffered from anxiety and stress. He took a medicine called Xanax to calm himself. On top of that, he sometimes used over-the-counter drugs for allergies. Mixing all these medicines was not safe. His body could not handle them all together. The combination of painkillers, Xanax, and allergy medicine was too much. When doctors checked his body, they found something else. Gerald had pneumonia. This is a lung infection that can make breathing hard. His body was already weak because of the medicine, and pneumonia made things worse. The doctor who examined him said his body went into something called acute intoxication. This means the mix of drugs poisoned his system. His organs could not work properly, and he passed away. The official report said his death was accidental.
It was a weird day, honestly, because everybody knew before me.
Really?
Yeah, it was on BT, and like I woke up late, and like there was no school that day for some reason, and the phone just kept ringing, and I didn't know what was going on.
They knew he had been struggling with pain for many years. They also knew he took medicine to feel better, but they did not expect that the medicine would take his life. His death was a big loss for his family, friends, and fans. Many people loved his music and his voice. His sudden passing left a hole in the hearts of those who knew him.
There's never been a day I've been able to not think about it. Like, there's not one day, because it's just like, I've never given the opportunity to not think about it. When people see me, they ask about my father or my grandfather. You know, women, they'll be like, you know, I was supposed to be your mama.
Gerald had also struggled with other health problems. He battled with his weight for many years. He often gained weight, which made it harder for him to stay healthy. He also suffered from depression. Being in the music industry brought a lot of pressure. He wanted to please his fans and keep making great music, but the stress took a toll on him. To cope with this, he turned to medication. Over time, this led to substance abuse. He did not take drugs to get high like some people do. He was simply trying to handle his pain and emotions. His struggles with weight, depression, and medication use affected his life in many ways. He loved his family and his fans, but sometimes he felt overwhelmed. He was a hardworking artist who put his heart into his music. The mix of medications helped him feel better in the short term, but in the end, they led to his untimely death.
It still hurts, man. It's still, it's still.
After Gerald passed away, his father, Eddie Levert, felt broken. Gerald was not just his son, but also his friend and music partner. They were very close. Eddie could not understand why this happened. He kept asking himself why his son had to go so soon. It was very painful. Eddie felt like he lost a big part of his heart, but the pain did not stop there. Just 14 months later, Eddie lost his other son, Sean Levert. This was even more heartbreaking. Sean died in 2008 while he was in police custody. He had been jailed because he did not pay child support. Sean owed $89,025 in child support payments. He was sentenced to serve 1 year and 10 months in jail. While in jail, Sean became very sick. He had been taking a drug called Xanax for anxiety, but he was not getting it in jail. His body started to suffer from withdrawal. The jail staff said Sean acted strange and started banging on his cell door. They put him in a restraint chair. Then his breathing became shallow. They rushed him to the hospital, but it was too late. He died at Lutheran Hospital in Cleveland. He was only 39 years old. The coroner said Sean died from natural causes caused by health problems. One of the problems was sarcoidosis, a disease that causes small lumps to grow inside the body. He also had other health issues like heart problems and high blood sugar. The coroner said there was no sign of foul play. Eddie and his ex-wife, Martha, were heartbroken. They had now lost both of their sons. It was hard to believe. Friends and fans worried about Eddie. Losing one son is hard, but losing two sons in such a short time is almost too much to bear. Eddie stayed strong in public, but inside, he was hurting deeply. Many people sent their prayers and support to the family. Sean's family did not fully believe what the jail said happened. His cousin, Michael Gibson, said Sean was never violent and did not behave the way the jail described. The family wanted the FBI to look into the case. An FBI spokesperson said they were willing to meet with the family, but the family never contacted them again after that. Sean had made mistakes in life, just like many people do. In the past, he had problems with the law, like a drug case in 1995, but he was trying to get his life together. He wanted to bring back the music group Levert, which he started with his brother Gerald. Sadly, he never got the chance. His death was a big loss to music and to everyone who loved him. The pain that Eddie Levert carries from losing both of his sons is something no parent should have to feel.
When I got in this thing, it wasn't just for me. It was to better my family, man, to get my family to a place where they could eat and they could do things.
In later interviews, Eddie Levert spoke honestly about how he felt after losing his two sons, Gerald and Sean. He said the pain was very deep and hard to understand.
The Kennedys, the Rockefellers, this was my avenue, this was my way to solidify my family.
Eddie shared that he still did not know why they had to die. He said, "If it wasn't supposed to be, it wouldn't have happened. I wish I could tell you that I had a sense of why, but I don't." He often wondered if something he did might have caused their deaths.
And I put that on them too, you know what I'm saying? And I just wonder if it was maybe a little burden that was too much to carry.
These thoughts hurt him, but he tried not to stay in that place for too long. He told himself, "It happened. I can't get caught up in the fact that it wasn't supposed to be like this." He knew he could not go back and change anything, so he tried to keep moving forward.
I still carry it, man. Do you understand? It's still my cross to bear.
He said his belief in God helped him stay strong. He read the Bible often, especially the book of Job. That book tells the story of a man who lost everything but still trusted God. Eddie said that even though he lost 2 sons, he did not lose everything. He still had his own life and he held on to hope. He said there were days when he cried like a baby, and sometimes he still does. But in those moments, he felt like God was helping him to stand up again. His faith gave him the strength to wake up each day and keep living. Music also helped Eddie through his pain. Music was something he shared with both of his sons. They had made many great memories while performing together. He thought often about those times. He remembered being on stage with Gerald and Sean, singing songs like Casanova.
Oh, Casanova.
And Baby Hold On to Me.
Oh, baby, hold on to me.
For Eddie, those were some of the best days of his life. Even today, when he sings those songs alone, it brings him some peace. While he is singing, he feels a little better. The music helps take away the sadness, at least for a short time. It gives him a break from thinking about the pain in his heart.
You know that for some reason or other they all feel like they have to take care of me. He's put that on them. Johnny Gill, the Keith Sweat, the yourself, the Ed Gordons.
Eddie also spoke about how he felt as a father. He said he had many regrets. When his sons died, he blamed himself. He believed there were things he could have done differently. He thought maybe his lifestyle or choices might have affected them in a bad way. He wished he had protected them more from the hard parts of his life and career. He shared that he used to take his sons on the road with him while his wife stayed home and worked on her ministry. He admitted he was not perfect. He said he made mistakes. He even called himself a rotten man because he was young and didn't know better. He did not yet understand how to be the father he wanted to be. Even though Eddie still carries the pain, he has also learned from what happened. Losing his sons changed him. He gained wisdom through the sadness. He said he wishes he could go back and do better for his sons, but he knows he can't. What he can do now is live in a way that honors them. He wants their memories to stay alive. The love he has for them is still strong, and it helps him keep going every day. In February 2005, Gerald got into trouble with the police. It all started when police stopped one of his friends for speeding in Cleveland. Gerald was nearby and decided to step in. He showed the officers a police courtesy badge from New Orleans, hoping they would let his friend go. But the officers did not listen to him. When they refused, Gerald got upset. Police said he pulled his arm away and used bad language. This made things worse. Police charged Gerald with assault and trying to stop the police from doing their job. He later pleaded guilty. The court gave him 1 year of probation and a $2,000 fine. At first, a city prosecutor said there was not enough proof that Gerald hurt the officers. But later, a grand jury decided to charge him anyway. They said he caused injuries during the fight. 2 officers said they got hurt during the incident. 1 officer said he hurt his wrist, and another said he injured his shoulder. Because of this, both officers missed work the next day. Gerald was also charged with drunken driving and blocking traffic that night. A man named James Austin Jr., who was in the car with Gerald, also got into trouble. He was charged with the same things, plus police officer.
Oh, Casanova.
Gerald was the main creative mind in the group Levert. He wrote many of the songs and also worked on the production. This may have made other group members, Sean and Mark, feel left out sometimes. Maybe they wanted to share more ideas. But there were no public fights about this. The group kept the same sound over the years, so it looked like they worked together well, even if there were small problems behind the scenes.
Loving you, love is so easy for me.
As time went on, Gerald became more popular on his own. He started a solo career, which made things change in the group. He did not leave the group officially, but his solo work became more important. He was busy making music alone and working with other artists too. This may have pushed Sean and Mark to the side. Still, Gerald came back sometimes to do music with the group. Even with this change, the group had success. 4 of their 7 albums went gold. In 1991, Gerald released his first solo album called Private Line.
Around saying, can't get in my private lines, 'cause you be calling me all the time.
It became #1 on the R&B chart. The next year was when he sang a hit song with his father, Eddie Levert. The song was called Baby Hold On To Me, and it was a big success too.
Oh, baby, hold on to me.
Gerald kept making albums in the 1990s and 2000s. Some of his popular songs were Thinkin' About It,
And I got you thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it.
Taking Everything,
Taking everything, 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 everything.
Funny,
And it's funny you should call today.
Mr. Too Damn Good To You,
Mr. Too damn good to you.
and You Got That Love.
What you got, they call it a night kind of love.
He even sang a version of I Believe I Can Fly with gospel singer Yolanda Adams. In 2002, Gerald sang in a music film called Standing in the Shadows of Motown. This movie told the story of the Funk Brothers. Gerald sang Shotgun,
I said shotgun.
and Reach Out, I'll Be There.
Reach out for me. Reach out for me. Everybody, come on.
In 2005, he put out his 10th album called Voices. He kept making music that touched people's hearts. Gerald also helped other artists. He wrote and produced songs for big names like Patti LaBelle, Barry White, Stephanie Mills, Anita Baker, and more. He worked with the OJs, which was his father's group, and many other singers. People respected Gerald because he helped others shine in their careers too. During the time he released his album Groove On, Gerald joined a group called Black Men United. They sang a hit song called You Will Know for a movie called Jason's Lyric.
Grew older, and I saw what's to see.
This group had many well-known R&B artists like Keith Sweat and Christopher Williams. In 1997, Gerald worked with Keith Sweat and Johnny Gill. They started a group called LSG.
My body all over your body. Should it feel?
Their first album, Levert Sweat Gill, sold over 2 million copies. It was a huge hit. They later released another album called LSG2 in 2003. Sean and Mark were not just background singers. They were important too. But when Gerald got more attention, they felt like people forgot about them. It seemed like all the praise went to Gerald. This made Sean and Mark feel like they were standing in Gerald's shadow. Jealousy slowly started to build. It's hard when one person gets all the spotlight and the rest feel ignored. Even if they didn't say it out loud, the feelings were likely there. It's not easy being in a group when one person becomes the face of everything. At the same time, Gerald had more control over what the group did. Since he wrote the songs and helped shape the group's sound, his voice became the most powerful. He made a lot of decisions about the music and the group's style. While this helped Levert stay strong in the charts, Sean and Mark might have felt like their ideas didn't matter as much. Maybe they had thoughts or visions for the group, but they didn't get the chance to share or try them. That can hurt after a while. Gerald also had a strong position in the music industry. Because of his father, Eddie Levert, who was part of the famous group The OJs, Gerald had connections. He knew many people in the business and understood how things worked. This helped him get good deals and chances that maybe Sean and Mark didn't have. When it came time to talk about money, contracts, or business decisions, Gerald may have had more say because of his experience and name. If there were any disagreements about money or contracts, they stayed private. No one went to court, and there were no public fights. Still, behind closed doors, there could have been tension. Money can cause problems in any group, and Levert was no different. We don't know the exact details, but like most music groups, there were likely talks about who got paid what, who owned what part of the songs, and how the money was split. These talks are often tough. If someone feels like they're doing more work but getting the same pay, that can cause anger. Gerald may have gotten more money for writing the songs and doing the production, while Sean and Mark may have felt shortchanged. Even with all this going on, the group kept making good music. Their sound didn't change much, which shows they were still working together. Maybe they talked through their problems. Maybe they just kept quiet and focused on the music. Either way, they managed to stay together for a long time. But deep inside, those feelings of jealousy, frustration, and being left out may have stayed with Sean and Mark. Gerald Levert, his music, acting, and love story with Kim Whitley. In 1999, Gerald sang the chorus for a funny spoken-word song by comedian Chris Rock called No S*** in the Champagne Room. People loved hearing Gerald's voice. In 2004, he sang a duet with singer Tina Marie on her album La Doña. Gerald kept working with other artists. In 2006, he sang My Angel with Jim Brickman. He also worked with rapper Styles P on a song called Real.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Even after Gerald passed away, people still used his voice in songs. Keith Sweat used Gerald's voice in Knew It All Along. Johnny Gill also featured him in Till the Morning, which came out 2 days before the 5th anniversary of Gerald's death. Later, in 2016, Gerald's voice was used again in Keith Sweat's song Let's Go to Bed. Gerald also acted. He played a man named Charles Young on The Jamie Foxx Show. His first episode aired on November 5, 1998. In the show, Jamie did not like that his mom wanted to marry Charles. Gerald came back again in the last episode of the show in 2001. In that episode, Jamie got married, and Gerald sang at the wedding. Gladys Knight and Marilyn McCoo also sang with him. In 2003, Gerald had one more acting role. He was in The Parkers, where he played T's father, who came to start a band. Gerald had many ups and downs in his personal life. He dated a few women, but his most special relationship was with actress and comedian Kim Whitley.
The reason Gerald Levert and I never got married is because he died. He died, and that's what he did. He left me here to fend for myself and deal with this life alone.
They grew up near each other and went to the same school. They started as friends and later became a couple. But when Kim moved to Hollywood, their relationship changed. They broke up, but they stayed close friends. Kim later said Gerald was her first real love. Kim said Gerald was very charming. Her parents didn't like that she dated a singer. They didn't trust the music lifestyle. But Gerald's family loved music. That was a big difference between them. Still, Gerald and Kim kept their friendship strong. Gerald once told Kim, "There can only be one star in this family." Kim had to choose her career or love. They made a promise. If they were both single at 50, they would get married. Sadly, Gerald died before that could happen. Kim said she sometimes felt jealous when Gerald dated other women, but she accepted it. She couldn't control who he loved. Their friendship stayed strong until the end.